episode.
Ready.
I'm born ready, y'all. Get these Dungeons and Dragons at.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the IUS Horizon podcast, and today we'll be covering our Stranger Things / D&D episode. Well, we will be covering tabletops, how recent media has promoted tabletop games, the most infamous being D&D, and I will be teaching everyone how easy it is to make a character, because that is the most common misconception, is that it's too complicated and too hard. But the second the character's done, everything's a breeze. So, first I want to ask everyone, what is your exposure to D&D from? Or like just any tabletop? How are you exposed to it?
So I've played multiple versions of D&D with my friends. My first time ever doing it was actually, we did like a Star Wars D&D, where we were set in like the Star Wars universe. And that's when I created my first character, and I do have a visual of him that I can show you all later. And then the next one we did was a superhero D&D set in the Marvel universe. I have visuals of that character also. And then we were going to do an Avatar, The Last Airbender one, but we never got to it, unfortunately. And then we started doing our own like original D&D called Ethos Pantheon, I think, but we never ended up finishing it. And yeah.
All right. How about the rest of you? How do you know things like tabletops, games, or D&D? What have you seen?
Well, I've never played D&D, but I think the first time I heard about it was a true crime episode, actually, because it was seen as satanic, and it was about these like 4 boys that were pinned to killing a child just because they played D&D and they listened to rock music. So, but and also Stranger Things too. But that's really it.
What about you guys?
Stranger Things. My roommate used to play D&D. He tried to get me into it, but no. I also played Baldur's Gate for spent like $70 on the game. Played about 5 minutes and never touched that game again. Still haven't.
You know you can refund the games so you can get your money back.
It's too late now.
How about you?
I'm very interested in it, but I've never played it. The closest I got to it was a friend of mine's brother, and they taught me how to like they drew out a map and kind of like had a little character, had dice, all the things, and we kind of played, but it can go on for like hours, so we didn't get too full into it. I have some friends in a Discord that are really into it, and they helped me create a character. I was the first character I've made, and I still have it on there. And I was still kind of confused with it, but I was very open to it and still am.
All right. How about you? What is your exposure to tabletops? Anything. Literally anything.
I don't play a ton of tabletop games. My dad, growing up, and he still does this every so often, but he would play these sports card games called Shred-O-Matic. So I played that a lot. He had this little card table in his office that we'd play on all the time, and it was just this thing. But, other than that, the classic Monopoly, Game of Life, stuff like that. Played some card games recently with my wife that are fun, but nothing too crazy. No D&D.
All right. I think it's safe to say that the most exposed people have been when it comes to tabletop is probably towards a D&D. Like, people have heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, you've seen bits of it. If you haven't seen bits of it, it's been talked about in passing. As of the past several years, I looked into it. Actually, D&D has skyrocketed over 38% in popularity due to the recent shows like Stranger Things and other shows. For example, another one that recently promoted it quite a bit, actually, just from how the world worked, was a show called The Owl House. And it's been in this recent media of like more magic, more like fantastical stories. Also with Game of Thrones, which also has some ties and inspirations. It has, once again, promoted games like D&D, like tabletop, like card games. However, the most common thing that prevents people from wanting to try it or from wanting to look into the game is difficulty. A lot of the time, whenever, and you all can vouch for this, I'm sure, on your own, D&D, at an appearance, first time glancing at it, looks like an extremely complicated and multi-layered game. I think that's a safe assumption to make about it. Truth be told, it's actually really straightforward and simple. The hardest part about it, you're going to be able to do today in this 30-minute interval, which is the idea of character creation. And really quick, we're going to make a blueprint, no class character for each of you. And then we'll apply a class to it. You don't have to do all the steps for the class. I'll just give you a brief description of what playing like that will be like or would be like. And I'll show you all how to know what type of dice is important. And then the game is really straightforward. It's really just do whatever you want. Or that's how a good DM should do it, is let the party do pretty much whatever they want. And enjoy the consequence or hate the consequence of what unfolds.
Over winter break, you should bring in, like, we should all just come in one day and just play one day.
Sure.
Love that.
I was genuinely talking, like, if you all want, I could start a campaign for you all, and, like, we can get you all invested into some real people, like, real characters.
That'd be fun.
I'd be down.
I would say this, for anyone that is interested in D&D, I would recommend looking for a DM. There is Discords, there's websites, you can look for one. I would not recommend first time playing being a DM. It is a really hard and really complicated task because you have to manage everyone's story. You can't have anyone in particular be the main character. The whole party's the main character. Every person is, in their own unique way, in their own arc. And you have to balance out how the story flows around these characters while also keeping track of everything they do, everything that's supposed to happen, and where they're supposed to go. And it's a lot. It's a lot, and it will take it from me. It almost killed my drive to play. I tried starting as a DM, took a step back, went, nope, I'm going to be a player. Had a blast as a player, and it helped me understand how to DM better because I could see through the eyes of a player since I'd done it before. So if you're interested in being a DM, but you haven't played as a player, I recommend doing that first. So this part's really easy. I'm going to ask everyone to do me a favor and go on Google and pull up Google Dice Roller. Literally the easiest way to do any of this is with that. There's also apps, which I'll promote at the end of this episode, that you can use, which are literally designed to build D&D characters in the most streamlined and easy way possible.
What side?
Which
What
side?
Dice?
Like how many?
Yeah, what kind of dice?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
We'll do that in one moment. So, first off, I want to cover what is important to a character. And the dice is where things are going to, like, where this is coming into play. Strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. This is what everything is built on. Your character is tied to these traits. Think of it like for yourself. Are you a physically strong person who's really good at socializing, but maybe you're not the most skilled when it comes to things like book smarts, but maybe you're really good at strategy, like football? That would make you a high strength, high wisdom, high charisma type person. And your character is going to reflect that. So if you want to play a character that's a book-savvy wizard, then you would probably go for intelligence, wisdom, and constitution, because you want to be somewhat durable, or maybe charisma, if you want to be a social acolyte. And this, literally, these 6 columns is the main reason why people don't play. Because getting through this is the hard part. And I'm going to show you how easy it actually is. So I'm going to have you all do a group vote. We got point, we have base value, And then we have the most fun one, which is roll. I'll tell you what each of these are, or would you like to just vote on it now and figure out what they are after?
What?
Point, value, or point, base, and roll are the 3 types of stat setup.
I only heard 2 types, I'm going to be honest, so I don't know.
What do you? I'll go ahead, Sam. Point. Think of it like a store. You can buy your values by exchanging the points, and you allocate them into your stats. They all start out as an 8, and then you can increase them based on that.
Oh.
Base value, 15 through 8. You assign 1 to each. You can't increase past that unless it's racial. But very straightforward. And then the last one, which is the most fun and most common, roll type. You roll 4d6, re-roll once, and then you assign to a stat. So which one would you all like to do? I personally would recommend rolling because it's more interactive and more fun, but it's up to you all.
I'm cool to roll.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I was gonna say.
So here's another thing I would quickly want to say. When people say a D6, D8, D12, it's referring to the sides of the dice. A dice 8, a dice 6. So the standard cube is your D6. The triangle is your D4. The it's not an octagon. The one that looks like a bunch of hexagons is your D8. And you got your D12, which is more ball-like. D10s, which are also classified as D100, look like diamonds. And then the D20 is the pure ball with 20 sides. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So do me a favor. Go ahead and click the square one, the D6, 4 times for me and tell me what each of you get. If you want, I have placed a card in front of all of you so you can quickly write these down. Just so you know what you have.
So we need 4 dice rolling?
4 dice. Not 4 dice rolls, you just need to tap it 4 times.
Oh, just tap roll 4 times?
Yep.
He wants to just
There you
roll
go.
4.
So, what did you roll? Oh, and here's this for you really quick, so you can keep track if you need to.
Wow. I'm a killer. 2, 5, 1, 1.
All right, re-roll your ones.
Three and 6.
So 2, 5, 3, 6. Take your 3 highest, add them together. That's one of your stats.
I forgot to write them down.
Did you delete it?
Yeah.
2, 5, 3, 6. Here, I'll give you a marker.
I have notes.
Okay.
I have 6, 6, 3, 6.
6, 6, 3, 6. So that's an 18 total.
What was mine?
Mm-hmm. So 3 highest, add them together.
Oh,
I got 3, 3, 6, 5.
All right.
I got 6, 3, 6, 5.
6, 3, 6, 5. Good. All right. So tell me each of your totals, and we're going to have that be one of the stats for this base character. So we got an 18.
16.
So we got 18. We got a 16.
17.
17.
17.
17. We got a pretty stacked character. Gah. Okay. Now, I need a volunteer. 2 more rolls. So who wants to be one of the 2 rolls? All right, you roll. Roll me 4 more dice. And you want to roll the other 4?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So can I just delete these ones that I have
Yeah.
on here?
Just tap the ones in the box and I'll remove them.
so you add the 3 highest numbers, but what do you do with
Yep.
the other number?
It is erased. It does
Okay.
not count. As
Oh.
long as it's not a 1.
Oh.
Do we need to memorize that last one we had, or is it good?
Nope, you're all good. The only ones that matter are the top 3.
2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Total?
14.
All right.
It's literally almost the exact same as the last one. 6, 5, 3, 6. So another 17.
All right. This is I'm going to be honest, a terrifying character. This is a really good character. Now,
This would be a
here
good
comes
one.
the fun part. Group vote. What are we playing? Are we thinking a musclehead? Are we thinking a spellcaster? Are we thinking a support type? Are we thinking sneaky? What would you like to play as a group? We're going to make this like the mascot character.
Why y'all looking at me?
a really big character.
You like a big character? What do you think?
This would make a
He
good
said
villain.
ninja.
I was
Ninja?
gonna say a big character, but I didn't think that anybody else would agree. So
Like a tall character.
Like a tall, muscular.
Yeah.
Maybe like a warlock or something.
No.
Now, if we're
no.
thinking muscular,
Like a
Knight.
we got
tall,
we have
Oh, wait.
paladins.
person.
We got.
Okay.
Oh, if you're thinking muscular, strength,
Could be like a creature.
you could do paladins. You could do barbarian. You could do fighter. Those are the most common. If you're thinking of like brute types, there's rogues. Those
I
are
vote
also
for-
very hand to hand.
I vote for Paladin because Fallout.
All right, so you're feeling paladin.
What's a paladin?
A paladin means you're following a pact or a line of rules.
Okay.
And with that belief, it enhances you. So, for example, let's say you're a representative, like a representation for Artemis.
Mm.
Your armor is covered in moons, and the goddess Artemis blesses your character with abilities.
It's like the military.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. I like that.
So, how are we feeling? Paladin? Is that what our character is going to be? All right. With a paladin, some really important details are going to be our strength and our charisma. These are going to be really important. We use this for spell casting. We use this for damage. Another one that's pretty good to put on there is con. Dex is kind of built in because we have heavy armor. But we're not going to have to worry about that right now. So we're filling a muscle head. Not including racial stuff. Which number do you want to put? Like, do you want him to be really good at strength or really good with his magic?
Considering that he's a muscular guy, I think strength would probably be where you'd want him to be good.
Everyone vote?
Yep.
We
Mhm.
feeling 18 strength? All right. Now, dexterous. Dex is referring to how nimble are you? How good are you at moving around, at being hard to hit? How reactive are you?
I don't know, if he's a big muscular guy, he'd
3.
probably be pretty easy to hit.
So maybe like 14.
Well, that includes armor. So it's not just the idea of dexterous is that you're quick on your feet, you're reactive. That's the key point to take from it. So let's say you have your sword and you have a really high dex, you can parry really easy. Or if you're a rogue, you're able to sneak around and move very quick. So, how dexterous do we want the paladin? Because we no longer have this 18 to use. We only have these 5.
I feel like if you're a paladin, that you're gonna be a big meat shield. So I feel like I don't know if it would move very good.
And plus,
Would
if
he?
you're super muscular,
Would he?
moving really fast is not super easy.
Yeah, especially if
And
he's a big
armor
dude.
and a giant sword.
Yeah.
I think it is 16. Like it's not the lowest, but it's not the highest.
All right, give him a solid 16. All right. And here's the thing. I really want to preface this. You can build them however you want. I have had a person straight up personally tell me I want a negative dex score. I was like, why? He said, because I want my character to not be dexterous. And he gave me a lore reason why. He said, I want him to struggle to walk from injuries from his past. I want him to be so stressed out that he's unintentionally a clumsy person. And I was like, sweet, you can have a negative dex. You do not have to have the strongest character ever. You just need to build it how you want to. So we're thinking a musclehead who's pretty dexterous. He's more dexterous than the average person. I mean, well, he's better at everything than the average person. But he's not the most dexterous. He's good. But the armor weighs him down a little. Is that what we're all feeling? All right. Constitution is durability. How well can you take a hit? That is what that one's for.
I would say that would probably be a 17 for that one.
I'm down for 17.
That's fine.
All right. Next up is intelligence. Now, paladins tends to not be that important, I'm going to be honest. It just doesn't. We can make him intelligent. We can give him a 17. We can give him a 14. Kind of up to you all. Intelligence is book smart. How good are you at history, at magic, at understanding things of the world? That is intelligence. It's your ability to read into prior experiences and knowledge and apply it to the present.
What's the one after intelligence?
Wisdom is street
Oh, wisdom,
smarts.
okay.
How good are you on your feet? Quick in battle, forward thinking. How wise are you? That is the important part of wisdom.
Okay, everyone, hear me out. You can say no, but what if we did 17, 17, 14? So, like, he's a pretty smart guy, but just not charismatic at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't be against that.
I'd be against it.
Let's go with it.
All right. And you have just completed the hardest part about making a character.
Yay.
This is literally the hardest part. And now, how about we go ahead and see how effective this character actually is with rolls. Because I said these are the most important things about combat, how a character works. These are the most important. On the side of the page, you will see things like survival, you will see things like sleight of hand, and these are like their base skills. And you always get to choose some proficiencies, which means that you're decent at some of these. And there's a whole list. We don't have to go into that right now. But the reason why this is the hardest part is all of this literally just gets moved over to everything else. You will use everything. Everything in your game is tied to these 6 numbers. Now, what do these translate to? This next thing I'm going to say, to help you all make characters and to help explain for anyone in the audience how do you make a character. So we've just completed stat roll, stat applying. Now, we'll do this part last. The next part is finding out what do these actually mean. 10 equals 0. If your stat is a 10, you have no modifier. So you do not increase your roll, you do not decrease your roll. Every positive value past this point is +1. +2, +3, +4, and then the Holy Cathedral of +5. To get past 20 is hard. But this is like the golden. If you're 20 in anything, you are almost superhuman. I mean, we got some crazy stats. Now, what are odds? Odds are the same value in between that point, but what's nice about that is, let's say you have a racial bonus that's a +1 to wisdom and +1 to constitution. That will change this and this to an 18. Which means those also become +4. Does that make sense? Easy. Is everyone tracking pretty good? Does anyone have any questions?
What's a racial bonus?
Good question. Racial bonus is a special trait given to you based on the race you pick to play. For example, humans tend to have a lot of proficiencies. Elves tend to only have to sleep half of the daytime for a long rest, and so forth. Like Dragonborns have a unique breath attack and claw attack, but a racial bonus in itself is an addition to these stats based on your race's skill set. So for example, Dragonborns, you would interpret they have scales, they're probably a bit more durable, so they probably have a better dex than the average person, dex and con. Or like a turtle, which is completely built behind wisdom and con. Muscles, like, well, not con, it's wisdom and I think strength. Yeah, wisdom and strength. And they have a racial bonus that improves their AC, which is armor class. So we've done the hard part, and now we can just quickly assign this is a +4, this is a +3, this is a +4, this is a +3, this is a +4, and this is a +2. So now, this is where the game mechanics come in. Anyone, roll me a d20.
So So it's 17.
17. All right. Without looking at the board, give me a random skill you want this to fall under. There's a door in front of you. This door seemingly is locked. The side of it is embroidered with magical sigils that you can see, but it looks pretty sturdy. How do you wish to open the door? Do you wish to punch the door? Do you wish to try to understand the magic? Do you wish to try to soothe the door using magic words to try to enchant it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you wish to try to open this door with a 17?
Kick it down.
Kick it down.
Mm-hmm.
That 17 is now a 21. You kick down the door. That is D&D. Fundamentally, that is all it is. You are given a challenge, you wish to do something, you roll to do it, and based on the number you roll, will determine how successful you are. And this character is stacked. They are successful at most things.
I'm still confused about that.
Yeah.
So wait, it was a 17 plus the 4. So how do you know that, like, I don't know, what numbers make it good and what numbers are bad? Like, why does that work?
All right. So the higher number, the more successful you are.
Okay.
Majority of the time, that is the case. Very few times is a higher number good, especially when it's a bad guy. You don't want that number high. But you roll a 21 in total because we have the 17 plus what skill you're using. You're using your strength. You're trying to punch down the door. And that 17 goes up to a 21. A 20, a nat 20 is the highest you can roll. So a 21 is obviously a really high roll. It means you're very good.
Right.
You succeed at breaking down the door. Now, if you rolled a 10 in total, meaning you rolled like a 6 plus 4, you wouldn't break the door. You'd probably just like bruise your hand a little.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And this can go for anything. Literally, name a random task. Name something random you want this character to be doing. Like, paint me a picture. I'll tell you what it's applied to. Drinking. Constitution. Go ahead, roll me a 20. Let's see how quickly you get drunk.
5.
You are smacked down against the table, literally foaming at the mouth. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's fine. You are clearly not fine. You are very out of it. Boom. Instant answer to drinking. Do you got a suggestion? Anything. Literally anything.
Talking to somebody.
Boom. Charisma. Roll me a d20. What are you trying to do? Persuade them? Intimidate them? Just pick something.
Be nice to them.
All right, so you're trying to maybe swoon them a little bit, trying to be a little nice.
I rolled a 3.
3? That is now a 5. You are not very good at it.
You called them a worthless piece of shit.
God! You're built like my grandma when she was younger. She was a pretty woman. You failed, but there it's applied. Porter, why don't you give me one?
Sleeping.
Now sleeping you don't normally have to roll for. But let's say there's a magical influence screwing with your sleep. That would be a wisdom saving throw. Saving throws are these same stats with your proficiency, which means it's based on your level. You get a bonus. So like let's say you're proficient with strength. And we're level 1. So prof right now at level 1 is a +2. But let's say we give it to strength. Give me another stat. We'll just give it to anything. What do we want to be proficient at? Wisdom? All right. So this 4 is now +6. And this strength is now +6. Or no, not +6. My bad. That would be... Or no. Yeah. This is the part where my brain might be lagging and I could be wrong about this. So I would have to double check, me personally. But proficiency bonus is pretty much an additional point added to your roll. No, it would be +6. So instead of it being simply a +4 to your roll, it is now +6 to your roll. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Now, we're being attacked in our sleep. And right now, we have to roll a wisdom save to not be controlled, right? So that will be a +6 to our roll. We're good at it. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
9.
That is a 15. You succeed.
Okay.
Now you started to get the flow of the game. Anyone got any more ideas? They want to spitball, just random interactions.
Going to the bathroom.
Going to the bathroom. What is the struggle with going to the bathroom? Are we trying to like sneak to the bathroom to get away?
There's trolls in the bathroom.
All right, there's trolls in the bathroom, so we're going to be rolling stealth. That is a solid dex. What was your idea? What was your idea?
He's constipated.
Okay. Strength. Strength saving throw.
The zipper is stuck.
Boom! You tear your pants asunder. They are destroyed. That'd be like where it's scary to roll too high. She's like, okay, I'm going to try to unstuck it. Nat 20. Oh no. Your whole pants just get obliterated. Like, there is a fun gimmick to the game. And that is literally as simple as it is. This sounds complicated at first, but literally, if you just break it down to these 6 numbers, the game is 1,000 times easier. And I think we can all agree after this, it's a lot easier to follow because you just move everything over.
Where did Jeff go?
He up and left.
He just disappeared.
Did he actually just leave?
Yeah.
He said bye.
Well, he didn't say bye, but he left. Yeah, he grabbed his bag and left.
Interesting.
Now,
No sports podcast.
here's the last details. Now, this part, while we're wrapping up and we're at least making this character wrap up before we move forward with today's episode, the next part's really hard for people. And that is, who is this person? Why is this character important? Right? And you got to keep in mind, when you make this character, you can make it jokes. You can make it funny. But you're going to be stuck with this character for possibly months. If it's a one-shot or a multi-shot, maybe like a couple weeks, tops. Maybe a week if it's a one-shot. If it's a multi-shot, then a couple weeks. Which isn't as bad to make a funny character. But if it's like a real campaign, making a silly character foundation isn't a good idea. It's not much to grow.
Well, how do you tell if you have a serious campaign or not?
Great question. Ask your DM.
Ah.
Interact with your players and ask your DM, what type of story is this? And taking context from the story. We could have a Candyland adventure where you all are little animals running around a town and there's a mass serial killer in the town. Your goofy all characters fit that setting because of how the world is. But if it's something like you're in a dark, abandoned continent which is filled with vampires and people are constantly being tortured and mutilated, Pizza the Hut isn't a great character to have in that story. You see where I'm going? Mm-hmm. Or like Pizza the Hut, his whole job is to try to go back to the human world so that way he can meet with his padre Pablo. Like, that is an interesting idea, but it doesn't fit. There's nowhere for your character to progress, which means it is less likely that you will have any plot significance or feel involved with the party. Big mistake a lot of people make. They make a super goofy character in the wrong setting. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you all, what's our setting? Are we silly? Are we serious? Are we sad? Or are we complicated? Give me a world setting that you all feel like you would like to play.
I'll vote for the vampire dark one.
You like the dark, serious world?
That'd be cool.
What about you all?
Can we add werewolves?
Oh, werewolves are already
Werewolves
built in.
and
That's
vampires.
it's a curse. It's a the Curse of Strahd is a great campaign for that. That's super dark, like grim dark horror, horrible place. It's technically a murder mystery where you all are like investigators in the grim dark. So that would be a fun one for that type of setting. How do you all feel about that? Or do you feel like a more maybe we keep some dark aspects, but maybe we make it funny? Or do you want to keep it fully serious and get immersed? What are we feeling?
There's got to be some humor in
Yeah, like
stories.
little-
Oh, obviously there's going to be some humor. You got to have some fun, but
I think
what is the
mainly dark
over?
would be probably the best way to go.
All right, so we have our character, and you want him to fit a mainly dark setting. Here's the really, really dumb part. Like, it genuinely doesn't matter unless you're tied to the world itself, like an important figure. What are we naming them? What are we going to name this person? It can be anything. You can pull up a name generator. Heck, let's name him Troy Horizon.
Okay, on the marker.
So we got Troy Horizon, our paladin warrior.
I have a name in mind, but I'm going to say it over here.
You could say it.
No, it's not.
All right. So we have our character Troy Horizon, right? Now, this is where these 4 things I wrote down come into play. This is referring to the 4 important things about your character that you need to have before you start. Everything else you can work in. This is really important. Strength. What is your character fundamentally good at, and why? Maybe he's a paladin that grew up in a church. Maybe the church was attacked by a bunch of cultists, and he fled and was isolated in a small town. And in this town, he became really good at survival, at fending for himself. But due to being attacked at a young age, maybe that's why he's not good at understanding people, because he doesn't trust people. If we do it like that, then that makes sense. Then that explains why he's good at all of these.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a different strength, like, oh, he's read all these books about these creatures and that's why he's hunting them. Sure, that works, but it doesn't necessarily fit with everything else, so maybe go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to give you all a chance. What is Troy good at, and why? Outside of just his stats, what are some things Troy's good at? What are some things he likes? You're first.
You can make a mean grilled cheese.
All right, he's good at cooking. Why is he good at cooking?
Big boys got to eat.
All right. What about you?
Oh God.
It's okay. It's not. It's
He's
yeah.
he's stylish. Like, he's really good at finding things to make good clothes with.
All right. So he's good at using resources.
Yeah. But he's also stylish, though. He has a nice style. Why not?
Hey, look, cooking is cooking, man. If you get cheese, bread, and meat, you are good.
Meat.
Yeah,
Make grilled cheeses with meat.
you can. It's just bread and cheese.
Grilled cheese is literally bread and cheese.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you get some meat too. Some chicken, some pork. He got big bones. He need that protein.
Raw vampire.
Dice up the vampire, cook him on the grill. You know, he's like sewing up this like beautiful flannel on the side as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got a fun character going.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Wear some mean skinny jeans.
I want you to give me 2 more strengths. Give me anything. And then I'm going to show you all how we can tie all these goofy things together to make a character that fits. Anything.
He's durable.
But it kind of goes with his
Oh, is it? Dang it.
stance.
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe
think of
he's
something
good at
you're
like
good at.
memorizing things.
What are you good at?
I did think of one, but
Maybe
Listening.
he's really good at predicting the outcomes of a street fight.
I said listening. Listen to that.
Listening,
Are you
okay.
listening?
So maybe he's super observant.
Here we go. So
All right.
you're good
Listening
at.
in what way?
Well, just the people. Like,
I don't know if this would fall into any of the
That's okay. Just give me.
I need that so that they can hear me. I need a microphone so they can hear me. So, what if he's good at manipulating?
oh,
He doesn't have good charisma, though.
Yeah.
Oh crap,
Wait.
that's right.
woo.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because even if you're bad at one stat, you can put a proficiency in the skills under that stat. So he may have a 2 in charisma, so maybe he's not very persuasive or...
But those 2 points.
Or maybe
of
not persuasive.
manipulation.
Yeah. No, literally,
That's
deception.
The only thing he's good at.
2 points in deception from his proficiency.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
So you can move that down to there. And that's how you keep that. So here's how we build a character using this. let's keep the same story. He was raised at a church that believed in protecting the people. The church gets attacked by a swarm of vampires and monsters and destroyed, leaving a few of them left. And they build a small settlement near a nearby town, but pretty much become monks. In this town, you have to become observant. There's monsters constantly around you, so he became good at it. He had to be. In this environment, you have to fend for yourself. There's very little food, so he got really good at making what he could. So he can make good grilled cheese, he can make good meals just on the fly. And resources. He's good at managing his things while also looking nice and being able to present himself in front of people, because he still has to attend and uphold a status as a paladin. And lastly, manipulation. In this world, it's not kind. The only way to get around is to be able to know you can get what you want. So he got good at manipulating, which ties into his ability to listen. This right here, that is how you make a character. It is that simple. Just we came up with 4 goofy and fun ideas, and boom, we made something out of it. We made a history that a DM can work with. Flaws. This, since we're running low on time, just to summarize it, maybe because he's really good at cooking and manipulation and resource gathering, maybe he really is slow to trusting people. Maybe that's his fatal flaw. He does not get close to people. He does not respect people. Maybe he's overly confident.
Cocky.
Confident in himself. Confident in who he is. But maybe that makes him unintentionally look down on others.
So like self-absorbed.
Yeah. Now, how would you like him to grow? That is where growth comes in. This is the most important thing you have to tell your DM, because this lets your DM write things so they can change.
He's going to become a softie.
You want him to reach out and be open up.
He's going to retire at like 25 years old.
Maybe he meets a good person or group of people and learns to trust them.
Maybe
and they
he has
become
a-
his family.
Or maybe,
Boom,
or maybe
right there.
Or maybe he has a very annoying pet that talks and tries to humble
Some-
him.
yeah, he gets a best friend.
Like 7 Deadly Sins.
We've literally
Or
just made
a-
Kratos.
Yeah,
Kratos.
pretty much.
Or
So,
Megarodas from 7 Deadly
growth.
Sins.
He has a kid.
We
He
want
has
him to
attacked.
break down his walls.
Yeah.
Tell your DM that, and that is how your character will interact with the rest of the story. The DM will give you opportunities to grow as an individual. Maybe you regress from some instances and some incidents that happen. Maybe there's a moment where you feel close to someone and it's torn apart, and then you come back together again. That is the growth and change that happens in this story. And lastly, this is how the roleplay happens, is quirk. What is funny? What is the unique trait about your character? Is he a cowboy? Does he look like a homeless man? It's just funny things that help you get into this character.
You can't use that word anymore.
Huh?
You can't use that word anymore.
Which-
especially with what we were just talking about. The animatronics here tend to get quirky.
Oh.
God.
That's the only thing I
Maybe
think of.
maybe he's a warforged. So maybe since he's a warforged, he glitches every now and then. So maybe that's his little quirk. That every once in a while when he's talking, he gets overly stressed and he'll start glitching. That's a quirk. And in the span of our podcast episode, just to show you all, we have not only built a fully functioning character, we built an entire backstory and future context we want for this character. We were able to name this character and use him in practice. That is how easy D&D is. If you take 10 to 20 minutes, get on a website like Roll20 or Dimension 20. If you get on these different apps, which are literally designed and built for it to be even faster than what we went through. I just simplified it. If you go onto those websites, you can make a whole character with a whole skill set, with a whole unique trait and everything, own unique appearance, in 10 to 20 minutes tops. And that one character will bring you entertainment for the next, possibly, years. And that is what's unique about D&D. And that's why, with its growing popularity, I wanted to personally show you all how to make a character for a story. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in today's episode of the IUS Horizon podcast, and have a wonderful day.